right, welcome back to Legends and Heroes Time Machine. We're here again, number 4. Awesome. I'm so excited. We're at Wild Horse Pass, and we're on site, too. It's so awesome to watch off-road racing. My partner in crime, Adam, and you have a special guest with us today, huh, Adam?
Yeah, Steve Hoffman. So here we are. We're at CORR Off-Road. Great series, great people, just a great atmosphere. Pro Turbo just ended. Steve's one of the 3 guys we were really wanting to talk to. In practice, car was on fire. I mean, he was pulling Kyle Arkenau down the straightaways. Car was running really good. Went over and saw Steve earlier. We got there. He wasn't there. Came back. He had to run to get a part for the shock from Super D headquarters. He broke the ring on the shock, and he's back. We went over and said hi to him. So, Steve, go ahead and just tell us, you did great in qualifying. You got top 3 in qualifying. Now these turbos are flying. How'd the race go?
For me, not so good. The O2 sensor decided it didn't want to work, so it just was stumbling over itself on the top end, wouldn't pull out of the turns. I couldn't get it to go over 8,000 RPMs, and normally we run upward of between 88 and 9,000, so yeah, it was frustrating for sure. I was just trying to drive it and best I could and stay where I could. Unfortunately, it is what it is, man.
Yeah. Me and Mike, we raced for years. We totally understand it, and so
you say it out there to get the points.
Yeah,
I got to get the points.
Yeah, well, that's one of the major things with me is regardless, as long as I finish, that's the points that I've gained, and that's kind of where. I don't know if I'm jumping the gun, but where it put me in points currently.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he's second in the points. That's fantastic. Championships are won by finishing races. Steve's got it nailed to the T. And so tomorrow, hopefully, you did finish today. So
yes.
Hopefully tomorrow you come back and you can maybe. There's no qualifying. They're going to put you back row probably, or wherever you qualified, kind of in wherever you finish today. I think they'll. And no inversion probably. So.
No.
You'll come out strong tomorrow. We're backing you.
Appreciate it.
Legends
I need it.
And Heroes Time Machine.
I need it.
We just appreciate you spending the time with us.
Oh, it's cool.
You guys hang out with your wife and your kid.
We're fun. Oh, dude, met your wife. Your wife's great. Your brother or your brother-in-law?
No, that's my boys with me now.
Oh, well, they're awesome.
Yeah. No, his friend's pitted right next to you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's Tom, and then I got
T something. The sticker.
Tom Bach. He's a real good buddy of mine. Real good buddy. And him and I work together, work on each other's cars at home here.
Yeah, that's cool.
We spot for each other, and
see, I saw that.
We got a pretty good vibe going there. So yeah,
a lot of camaraderie
cool.
then.
Yeah, for sure, sure.
That's the key, though. Yeah, I miss the camaraderie.
Yeah,
I really do. Of the guys, somebody help me, and then maybe I'm helping somebody else.
Yeah,
get them to the line.
Well, I actually met Tom through another friend. Just like I was telling you earlier when we were desert racing, and he come on to help and everything else, and then him and I just clicked, and we've been friends ever since, and we've been close friends and trying to make our stuff run with what we got. We don't have major sponsors. We're each other, and it is what it is.
But see, that's so cool that you're doing it, and you're running against some high-dollar machines.
Oh, yeah.
We won't mention any names because I saw some great racing today.
Oh, yeah.
Really. But I see the underdog nipping on the heels of the factory guy.
Yeah.
You were nipping on the heels, dude. So we were all there cheering for you. That's what was exciting to me. I'm like, look at this guy. It's a limited budget, but, oh, man, he's making it work for himself.
Yeah.
So that was really cool to see that.
Yeah,
even Jen Banta with CORR, one of the co-owners of CORR, she said, you guys got to oversee Steve. And I knew right then you're like a one-hit wonder like me. We're in the pits. We do it ourselves. And
right.
We're afraid of somebody else to put our air pressure, adjust our clutch. You do it all.
Yeah, I do it all. I don't mind help or whatever, but when it comes to the mechanical stuff, I want to be in control of it because if something goes wrong, I only want to blame myself. I don't want to blame anybody else. And cause friction or a friendship or anything else. Just help me with this, grab me tools, whatever, that kind of stuff. But when it comes to mechanical stuff, I want full control of it. And the only person I can blame for anything, if I make a decision and it affects the car, that's on me.
That's how I used to feel. But
I'm the same way.
I totally appreciate that. But what most people may not know, we're glad to have you on the show, but I'm going to tell you right now, you guys, he's a drag racer. I don't know what it is, but drag racers find the ins and the outs of tinkability and going fast.
Yeah.
And you've done it for years.
Yes.
You know some people I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're not done here.
No.
Nah.
No.
Yeah.
I ain't done.
Yep.
Oh, that smile.
Well, no, I'm not done. I'm definitely not done.
Yeah. We'd like to hear that.
Definitely more horsepower on the horizon coming.
We're testing. Yeah.
Yeah. And then possibly another way lighter chassis too. So.
Oh.
Okay.
I've already talked to Jimmy Owens about that. So.
Well, are you at minimum weight, or are you overweight?
I'm overweight right now
fiber panels.
Because the basically from the door bar here, the shoulder bar that goes here down, other than the opening bars, it's factory chassis.
I was wondering about that. So if there's a specific weight, how many pounds or how many hundreds of pounds are we talking?
I'm probably at very least 200 pounds over.
Oh yeah.
I've already done my research, basing it kind of off of back east, and I'm going to build a car accordingly.
Nice.
So, and I'm going to do it in the Polaris.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I know I race Champ off road, so I do know. I know what the Carlsons do. I've seen their stuff run. I've seen what CJ does. Yeah, I think you can do it.
I appreciate it.
At 200 pounds
Yeah.
out of the corners with a healthy, and just to change the subject, so Rob Muzzy used to build my motors, right? It's very capable. The twin-cylinder engine acts. The Polaris twin sound. It acts like a V-twin, is what Rob kind of explained to me. Mm-hmm. So if you have a V-twin, you have lots of torque. So I'm taking the triple Rotax. Probably doesn't act as much torquiness as that twin Polaris.
Right.
So I think you got it, because the Polaris is in Champ Off-Road Midwest. They hang right there and win.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
And I think weight. I think you hit it on the button, or the weight. The 200 pounds is quite a bit coming off a corner.
Yeah. Definitely.
And if you get it off the drivetrain, that's even better.
Because the belt temps are ferocious. It's probably way more than it should be, but I don't know. I'm going to buy a new sensor just to make sure, but it's pretty far up there. But I haven't blown a belt. Before we finished our summer break, before we finished the front half of the series, we were at Glen Helen, and I grenaded a clutch.
Gotcha.
And but it's the P90X clutch, which they're
primary.
Yeah, they're prone to exploding over time. But I had it in there for a long time, so obviously fatigue and everything. So it is what it is. But somebody else had a clutch, and I got it from them, put it on the car, finished the race. We're good. Yep. So over the summer, I went and bought a whole new primary and secondary, and now it's the Turbo S style clutch, which is full enclosure, and they're way better for higher horsepower. So, and so far, it's actually working a lot better as far as traction and pulling off the corners and everything else. It's way better.
You're definitely a privateer. You got this stuff figured out. You're talking to the right people. You're in the right direction. I see you doing really well here shortly.
I hope so.
Yep. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
He sounds like he's educated in the sport, how to make things go fast, and you're talking weight, which makes a big difference. So
So I'm competitive. Like I said, I've grown up racing all kinds of stuff, and then my dad's kind of put it that way too. You got to try stuff. Out of the norm, whatever. But like here, unless the other guy Tyler comes, which is a great dude, unless he comes out here, I'm the only Polaris running in the pro category. For me to go and try and talk to people or, try and get some kind of information, they don't have to give me the direct route, but you can give me the scenic route, and I'll figure it out from there, and I'm slowly pecking at it, and I get to it, and that's fine. And once I get to that point, I'll be ready to tank.
You're super smart. You're a drag racer.
Yeah.
You've talked to Loire.
He knows how to make horsepower.
Yeah, the Carlsons of the short course industry, they got to figure it out. You're going to too. You're a drag racer.
Yeah.
I see it coming.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I got to ask you this question now. What is the most memorable story that you remember? Like a fun story, but you had to struggle to get there? I mean, I know you've been doing this a long time, but you said there was something recently that happened to you.
Yeah. Actually, last race, we went out for qualifying, and car was running good and came into turn 4, and we had Van Beekum and Weller and come in, and the car slid. The inside tire went up over the berm, and it actually pulled me into the berm off. And then when I came out, the car cartwheeled, and it bent the rear trailing arm. And so the trailing arms that I got, they're old Holes Racing long travel for Pro XP. They don't make them anymore, but I happen to have a spare at the house, which is an hour away. So my youngest boy was here, and he drove home, got the trailing arm, brought it back. We get it all back together, and then the hub, we realized the hub had bent also.
Oh.
So the brake rotor was running up against the brake pads and everything. It wouldn't spin. So I'm like, oh my gosh. And legit, like there was 2 races, and then it was mine. So we were thrashing to put it back together. And then so I went through, and one kid runs a RS1. He's got Turbo S long travel on his car. So I went over to him, and I'm like, hey man, you don't happen to have a Turbo S hub? I need a hub. And lo and behold, he had the hub. So,
nice, yeah.
So we run back over. I had to beat the studs out of the other hub and everything. We put it back in, got it back together, bolted it up. Everything was golden. Get in the car and literally pull out there and pull right to the line, and they started running us out to stage.
You're like, no room for nothing.
Yeah, no, it was like
go.
Right to the wire, man. And it worked out. It worked out really good. The car ran good. Other than my front differential at the time was an issue. Cost me a couple positions, but I got that taken care of. But that was probably my most memorable because it was literally down to the minute.
Yeah.
Legit to the minute to get the car on the ground, bolted up, and rolling up there.
That's a great story. To never give up.
Yeah.
Never surrender.
No, I'm not I don't give up easy, man.
Exactly.
I'm that
Racers
guy.
Racers don't give up.
No, I'm that guy legit. It doesn't matter what it is. You give me any kind of inclination, you think that I can't do it or I won't do it, I'm going to prove you wrong.
Thank you.
Perfect.
That's what I live by right there. That's what I live by.
Don't tell me I can't. I'll show you.
No, tell me I can't because I get motivated now.
Exactly. So it's that's the motivation, legit.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I mean, it worked out good, It was cool. So now I just got to get rid of my current situation. And we should be back to like we were at qualifying today. So
Perfect. That's hauling ass.
Yeah, I was pretty stoked because Arkansas came over asking for a clutch puller for a P90X, and I happen to have one. And I asked him, I go, hey man, I said, I'm just gonna ask a question. Tell me the truth. Did I legit run by you in there? He goes, yeah, dude. He goes, your car's hauling ass.
Perfect.
So,
awesome.
Yeah.
And we noticed that too.
Yeah, because before, dude, I could not. They would literally pull me down the straights, and then I'd have to try. I could make it up in the turns a little bit,
Yeah.
But it just wasn't enough down the straights. So, but yeah, that was a big ego boost for me when I did it. I was like, okay, now I got a car. You know, I got a car that's coming close to being capable of hanging with him. So
Running up front.
yeah.
Running
And
up
great
front.
job for asking Kyle that.
Yeah.
He's a real stand-up guy. I
Yeah,
like
no,
him.
he's cool as shit,
Yeah,
man.
that's right.
He's cool as shit. I really like him.
Steve Hoffman, just thanks for coming out and hanging out with us. From my experience in racing, my championships, and then Arizona being a little lack of short course. This, and you know, we saw today qualifying this sport in Arizona for short course off-road with CORR off-road is top-notch. You guys are fast. And I noticed when the Wellers would go back to Champ off-road, you know, they would run top 10. You guys are bringing the sport back to Arizona, and we need it. So your speed's there. I think anybody Champ Off Midwest or West should be really proud of what you guys are doing out here. And CORR. It takes an organization first to offer the race, get into Wild Horse Pass, use the facility. Guys like Calvin that can grade the track, best in the industry. It's here.
Yeah.
It's going to take off.
Yeah, definitely.
So tell the folks out there how they reach you. How do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, you can get a hold of me via my email, Hoffman, my three sons, HOFFMANMY, the number 3, SONS at yahoo.com. And then we have a YouTube page, CNS Racing, and we got previous videos on there too. We made some content today. My boy will be putting those up too, so you can reach us through that also. Thank you very much.
Very cool, very cool. Well, hey, we're going to go to a commercial. Be right back. Legend and Heroes Time Machine. All right, we're back. Legends and Heroes Time Machine. Adam, who's our next guest?
This is a pleasure. This is Joe Chapman. Been in short course forever. He was around when I was racing. His kids is what got my attention. I raced against his daughter. Joe in short course started the kids out in Junior 1, Junior 2.
Mm-hmm.
Mia went into mod carts.
Yep.
She was a mod carts kid.
Mm-hmm.
What did that entail? That was the speaker company that kind of was the sponsor of all the kids that were in the group.
Kicker Audio, yep.
Yep. And I just was through the pits today, looking over through Bobby's pit where Ryder's car behind us was over there. And then you had a Polaris motor on the ground, and you got it back in within 30 minutes?
We made it up to staging about 5 minutes before.
5 minutes before the main event.
Didn't break it in. Is a brand new motor out of the box.
I saw
Fired it up.
I saw that. Yeah. I sent Steve, my producer, a picture. I go, check this out. Yep. Joe had the motor in.
Yeah.
And then Ryder went out there. How'd he finish?
He won that race.
Won the race. Yeah.
Inspiration right there.
Yeah.
No belt issues.
Yeah.
Lined up. Was in their killer. That's true racing. Yep. Ryder is in high school now?
Yep. He is a sophomore.
Great. Wrestles.
Yep.
That's key. The mind stimulation and the power. My daughters are
He's an athlete.
state championship
He's an
swimmers.
athlete.
Yeah, he's very athletic.
So our first race here at CORR Off-Road, and the sport's doing great in Arizona. We're so glad about that. And CORR, wonderful people. Ryder went out in that RS1, Bobby's sheriff car.
Yeah, the cop car last race.
He set fat in the non-turbo, naturally aspirated. He set fastest lap for the entire weekend.
Yep.
In a RS1 NA car. That's impressive.
Yeah.
So his athletic ability, the car, Bobby's car's not slow.
No.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
It
very
runs
impressive.
good, yeah.
So he ran faster in the single-seat RS1 than Pro Turbo.
Yeah, he was faster in that car than in his turbo car that weekend.
The turbo car's right behind us.
Yep.
Canned ham. So how did he finish today?
Today he won in the NA RS1 car.
NA.
And then in the turbo class, he was second.
That's impressive.
Oh, that was him. Okay, okay.
Very impressive. You should be very proud of that.
Yeah.
And another real great thing about Joe and his program his kids are doing great. As Mia has progressed into a professional Red Bull athlete.
Yeah, she signed with Red Bull when she was 15. Yeah, at Crandon, of all places, is where she got her helmet. You know,
Nice.
So she's 22 now.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Yep.
And then she travels around all over the country. Does she go out of the country?
No, not yet.
Oh,
Not yet. There's talk of her doing the junior sports team, abroad. Hopefully next year. There was a little bit of talk this year, but they couldn't put it together in time.
I did see her pop into a manufacturer. And so what will she be driving?
She can race anything.
Okay.
So she just started working with Kawasaki. Kind of as an influencer, they give her a demo
Ding, ding,
car
ding.
for a few months, and you go out play with it.
If you didn't know it, I was one of Kawasaki's jet ski test rider for 10 years.
Ooh.
So I know everybody at Cowan. When I saw that, everybody's going I go, no, dude, you don't just go to Kawasaki. You go to Kawasaki because something's going to happen.
I knew something good was going on.
Yeah, so I expect to hear good news from you in the future, I guess. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're a great company so far.
They are.
Jim Beaver, her manager, has been working with Cowie now for, I think, 2 years, kind of on the influencer side of things, doing builds and going on rides and stuff like that. He just had a really nice, the Ridge that they came out with last year, he built one for SEMA for Cowie.
Oh.
So there's a jet ski on the back of it.
Exactly. I saw it.
Yeah.
Power windows.
Yeah, radio, winch, all that stuff.
So that's excited to get excited about. And then, she doesn't really have this type of vehicle anywhere where nobody can see it. There's nothing top secret rolling around.
No.
They won't let that out yet.
There's something coming, I hear, but,
I did too.
Yeah.
What about when you did the interview with Mia? She was talking about that she hurt her back or something like that. And
That was a scramble race.
I never heard the answer of how she did it.
So she broke her back in Texas at the Red Bull Scramble race.
Oh,
that was
okay.
in May, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I hurt my back many times.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh wow,
Yeah.
she's so young,
Yeah.
So
Scary.
because they can't move.
Yeah.
Well, she's young. She's very athletic and way younger than Mike and I. Did she flat case of cars on?
So
flat landed or
on the course there was a short course track there,
right?
and the scramble, the Red Bull, they come in and they use that, and then they also add some natural terrain. It's woods there and stuff like that. So part of the natural terrain was a creek crossing where you jump over it.
Oh.
There's about an 8-foot gap, 8 foot wide. And the problem was the approach is downhill because it's a creek. It's got a slight downhill. And then the landing on the other side's an uphill. So I think this is probably lap 5 or 6. When you land, everybody's tires are spinning. Every time they land, it, kind of digs a trench out. Well, by lap 5 or 6, when she landed, the back of the car, the skid plate right under the transmission, that hit the ground. So there's nothing's going to give at that point. Yeah. So it was crazy. You could see in the in-car footage, we had a camera on her.
Impact.
And her, you could see her helmet, because she goes way down in the seat, on the impact. And her helmet moves a good 8 inches. She just compressed.
Oh, my
smokes.
God.
Oh, yeah.
She's a young gal. She's very elastic.
Yeah.
Me and Mike at our age, right.
Me too. I'm right there. Yeah, but as soon as she landed, it was, instant pain, and she got on the radio, instantly. It's I flat landed the car, I can't feel my feet. And she wasn't even off the course yet.
Oh.
So she just kind of drifted off the course and stopped, and she couldn't feel, her legs.
Yeah.
And
that's
then her fingers
scary.
were real, tingly.
Yes.
Yeah. But they have a really good safety team there at all the scramble races, and they got her out of the car and transported her to the hospital. And
Great story. Fully recovered.
yep. And
So
she rode. We were going to fly her home, because this was in Texas. It was a 17-hour drive.
Yeah.
She hates flying with a passion.
Oh.
Absolutely
So does he.
hates flying.
Weird.
Hates it. So she's like, no, I'm good. I'll ride home with you. And, she's in the big clamshell thing that they put you in,
Did she feel better in the clamshell?
No. Everything hurts regardless.
Backs are
at
tough,
that
man.
point. Yep.
I hurt myself bad about 7 years ago. punctured lung, broke some ribs, did some other stuff too.
Yeah.
But I remember my daughter picked me up from the hospital, and she drove me home. And she has like a little lowered matrix with really stiff suspension. I'm like, oh. And if you ever breaking ribs before, it hurts so bad because just to sneeze, you have to have the pillow in front of you. Like, oh man, it hurts so bad. And then but it only hurts for like a minute. And then you're like,
Dirt bike.
But the drive home was like 20 minutes of, I can imagine what she was doing on the way home. She's like probably trying to think of something else, 17 hours is a long time.
Yeah. And I think we did it in like 14 hours or something. Like a whole ass home.
Well, you got two tough kids, extremely fast. They'll eventually be legends of the sport. They keep going this direction with you, Joe. You're doing great.
Yeah, I mean,
your dad's involved with it. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
When I was young, I live in a real small town. There's nothing to do
Yeah.
but get in trouble.
El Centro, Florence.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of Phoenix and Tucson, there's not a lot to do there.
Well, you
And,
drink beer and you try to jump the railroad tracks in front of the train. So they do in El Centro.
In our era.
All the off that's they all do in El Centro.
Yeah.
Where Steve's from, I mean.
So me growing up there, it was like evident when I started having kids, like, I need to create something for them to do
Fantastic.
so that they don't have idle time. And we put Mia in a trophy cart when she was
I remember that.
6.
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember her first race like it just happened. 12 laps. She completed 5. She was that slow.
I remember, I think.
Loved it. It was at Grinding
2000?
Stone.
Oh, I remember that track.
Remember that track?
Yes.
Yep. And then Ryder, he started when he was 5 in the 170. He's never been in the kart class. He's always been in
I remember when he was in that.
I work for a school district, so I don't make a whole bunch of money. I started, I think, about year 5 or something, started coaching kids.
Perfect.
Because really this is an amateur sport.
Yeah.
Everybody comes in, they don't really know much about racing. They just want to do stuff with their kids.
Yeah.
So I started coaching kids.
Yeah, you should.
Reading data, watching video. You get 6, 7 kids in a weekend you're working with. Kind of helps offset the racing. Ryder, I've never, ever looked at any data with him. After a race, like, get done, I'm like, hey, what's going on in turn 2 down there? And before I can say anything, he spits it out what it is. He knows what the problem is, and he's trying to change it, and he just gets it.
From what I understood, I talked to your better half a little earlier. Mm-hmm. He's an honor student.
Yeah.
So he's
like
my daughter is too. Hey,
that's part of the deal. You got to get good grades.
Mine was too.
Yeah, mine's really good. Mine's starting medical school here, master's in June.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah, so she's going to have to get the menthol strip. She's going to start working on the bodies. So that's she did everything else before that. Yeah. She's in an office now, pain management.
Vapor rub.
Yeah. So that's the only hurdle coming up.
Yeah.
But we really appreciate you coming on and talking to us. You actually should be in the Hall of Fame of short course for mentoring your children into competitive athletes. You are like the epitome of a great parent.
Well, inspiration for other parents to get their kids outside and do something else. Don't let your kid
Total inspiration.
be in the basement. You know what I mean?
Probably the thing I value the most out of all this is the adversity. Blowing up a motor, getting taken out, all the shitty finishes. Because I'm there with them in the moment, teaching them that.
You are an exceptionally rare breed. You're a mechanic.
Yeah.
Most parents can't do parenting, mechanic, and mentoring. Your kids already have the mindset. Mm-hmm. They're professional athletes in their own right. Yeah. Okay, they're both championships in the sport. You take care of the mechanical side, and that's an A+ rating that most parents can't say they can do, and I get it.
Yeah.
That's why when I said we got to interview Joe. So if anybody wants to know about
said that all day.
Anybody wants to come and bring their kids in the sport, they should call Joe Chapman.
Yep.
So how do they get a hold of you and talk to you how great you are?
How you do it? Instagram, Joe Chapman. I'm easy to find on there. Yeah. Yeah. Just look for the beard in the pictures. Pretty easy.
No, that's what I said. Remember? That's what I go. That's the guy with the beard.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah.
Mike raced first Yamaha national champion stand-up racer for Yamaha. He's a 4-time Hall of Famer. He took.
I've been there.
I think short course needs Hall of Famer and even regionals in Arizona. We should maybe do some regional Arizona stuff. But Mike took interest in the vintage stuff, because that's what he raced. And then he also took a real big interest in juniors.
They were great.
Yeah.
So
Same thing. I got to teach. I did schools for 10 years.
That's right.
I traveled the world. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I got to see some stuff that scared the crap out of me, but at the same time, I actually got to race down there a couple of times, and just to teach them and saw what they didn't know. I was like, oh, they don't even know that. And I'm like 35, okay? Yeah. I'm racing kids that are 25, and they get spent like billions, not billions, but a lot of money on their skis. And they just keep going. They were like holding it wide open. I'm like, what the heck? And they give me like a slow ski. Yeah, hey, he ain't got to beat us on a slow ski.
Yeah, give him that
Yeah,
one.
well, guess what? I just went around the track and said, but like I said, you have to teach kids, And the races are so good for our kids. They really, really are.
Absolutely, it is.
It teaches them how to take care of themselves.
There's so many life lessons in racing, period.
Yes, it is. See, and that's what's so cool. You get to give the kids your experience.
Yeah.
These kids are not only fast, athletic, they respect others. You have produced 2 idle human beings.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Flat out.
But tell like a story, like an adventure, like, oh man, are we ever gonna get there? Like,
we used to travel. Well, the Red Bull Scramble races, right? They're all over. The farthest one is New Jersey, and so I have to work, so I can't just leisurely make my way across the United States.
Yeah.
So it's like I got to figure out, okay, how many hours of drive time, and then leave, a little chunk for, whatever. The sucky part is you're so tired because you worked the last 2 weeks getting the car ready, plus work.
Yeah.
Then you get in a truck, get in a semi-truck, and
Get a
drive
semi
across
with
the country.
N14, great truck.
Yeah, I love that.
Great
I
truck.
still have it.
That's the motor.
And Mia will sleep all the way across the country.
And she's a professional athlete driver.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm not driving Dad's Freightliner.
And we don't go 10 hours and stop. Like, I go to Joplin before I get fuel from here.
Oh, wow.
Joplin.
21 hours straight. I'll get fuel.
That's not
Missouri.
Oklahoma. Oh, Missouri.
Yeah, like Southwest Missouri.
I'm not allowed to do that anymore because I used to drive to Flagler, Florida. That's right below Jacksonville.
Yep.
37 hours.
Oof, that's a trick.
But what happened was I got blood clots in my legs.
Yep.
So I have to stop every 2 hours and I would walk and move around. So, but I still want to get there. I understand. So
my wife bought me, I drink a lot of coffee, stay away. So my wife bought me this really bitchin' Makita, takes batteries, little K-Pod thing.
Oh, yeah.
And coffee, right?
Keurig.
So, I'll be wanting a coffee. And so, hey, wake up, I need a coffee. Well, she won't wake up, so now I'm throwing stuff back there in the sleeper, trying to wake her up, and then, what do you want?
How many hours you go at one time?
On average, I can do about 22.
That's crazy.
But see, I don't stop and get in the sleeper. I'll pull off somewhere, and just kick the seat back.
Oh, yeah.
And usually get, 2-3 hours, and then go again. Impressive. If I stop for 8 hours, I'm, the next day is so horrible. It takes forever.
How old are you?
Yeah.
I'm 47.
Those are great stories. Well, we want to thank you. Legends of the Heroes Time Machine with Steve, our producer, and Mike Yellich, the mauler. We want to thank you for coming over and giving us the time.
And good luck tomorrow, too, man. We look forward to watching you.
Absolutely. It'll be good.
I had a great time just watching today. A lot of camaraderie, and I noticed a lot of good racing, though.
What do you think about the series?
I am totally impressed. The first day we showed up, Jen Banta, I called her to sponsor. I got Mike and them involved. We started this to document the histories of great people like yourself. It started in the jet ski industry, and Clayton Jacobs and his dad invented the jet skis. Where Mike and I started with it. We came over here.
The idea.
They were friendly from the gate to here. Anywhere we go, they're friendly.
What do you need? What do you need?
Tech is a situation, but certain industries and certain companies don't understand when they're making people upset and frustrated, and people that are putting their passion into a sport. It can come down to tech inspection. As little as that is, it just irritates people. Welcome them here. They're paying. They're spending all their money, Make it an enjoyable experience.
Yes.
If they learn something that year, go on to it, but keep it as friendly as it is. This is the coolest organization I flat out have seen in years.
Yeah.
I mean, what's this, our second year?
Think so.
Something like that.
Totally enjoyable. No bullshit.
I think they're doing a bang-up job.
Yeah.
Jason contacted me towards the end of last year and wanted me to be race director for the series, and
Maybe down the road.
maybe. I've raced a long time,
I know it.
and so I've been on both sides of everything.
That's right.
In tech,
I remember I've seen you.
in the Lucas semi after a race,
know.
you know, and I would love to do it, but not when my kids are racing, because I
That's
want
what
to
I mean.
focus on them. I won't have the time to do both. Give
You're an awesome
everybody.
parent.
Thank you.
right?
Thank you.
In time, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed just this evening. You see how many people were up there?
Yeah, there's a lot.
It's coming around.
Yeah.
Well, last weekend there was last race there was 110 entries.
If they keep doing a kick butt job like they're doing, I think we're going to see some Midwest people roll out here.
I like the rule book. It's less rules than Lucas. They don't tech stuff. They don't have stuff in the rule book that they can't check really good. Not in the youth stuff, but in like riders class. I suggested, like, if you don't have the equipment to test flow injectors here in tech, don't even make it a rule.
Perfect.
Because when there's a rule,
That's
to
fantastic.
cheat costs you way more to take a stock injector and have it reworked. That's a lot of money versus buying a set of 1050s from Injector Dynamics and throwing them in there. Like, it's cheaper for the racers. There needs to be tech, obviously, and there needs to be some
Yes.
rules so it doesn't get too crazy. But I think in the youth is where you need a lot of rules, especially in your classes that I think it's like youth restricted, which is that's stacked. You see how many cars are in that
I
class?
saw that.
Very impressive. There's
there's
4 or 5
20-some
heats
kids.
of Razor 170s.
Yeah.
4 or 5 heats.
Yep.
Different divisions. That's where they grow the sport.
Yeah.
And it's like any successful business is you need to bring younger people up into a successful business. You've got to keep the staff young. Complacency sucks. I get it. But that's how you build any business or any sport. Yep.
Is the Blade guys Kelvin? Did I see him back there?
Yeah, you did see him back there.
like that
It's
dude.
his second time in.
That's a
He is
big part of this
fantastic
place.
worker.
Yeah.
He gets a track so good
Yep.
that I can come in and put that pedal to the floor. I feel great about it.
Phenomenal.
Isn't he great?
Yeah.
He used to always wave at me when I come by in the car.
I wished when we raced Lucas that he was like the head track person back then.
Yeah, and the problem with Lucas is that they didn't think of the billion-dollar industry that this is going to be, and they didn't know that the cars are going to be as fast as Pro 4s, and they are. And they made Lucas they made UTVs like the Pro mud scraper class.
Yeah, they're going to water for the big trucks. The big horsepower that's really going to put a hurting on the track. They're prepping the track for the big trucks. Kind of not so good for the smaller classes UTV stuff, but it kind of is what it is. You can't have it perfect for every single class, but
Well, I remember calling her. I used to announce races too, and I remember calling your daughter's name many times. And I was like, "Hey, Chapman, what does that sound familiar?" That's what I was telling him last time we were here. I'm all like, and I saw her. I go, "Nah, it can't be her." I'm all, "That's a woman."
we got to go to the off-road.
That's what I'm saying. I saw her when she was
absolutely.
when she was 12. So yeah.
Do you remember when she was little on the podium, her interview?
Yeah.
Like, she wouldn't talk. It
Yeah,
was
I know.
just-
See, she was very
Oh, yeah.
I think Mark interviewed her a couple times, maybe when she was about 10 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Starting to come out of it, but man, there was a point where it was just like a prison, mugshot.
Well, Dave Arnold tried to announce her, I think, one time at the Elsa race you were at. Remember, Dave was trying to, and she's like,
I don't remember what event that. I remember that.
Dave goes, she wouldn't talk.
Yeah.
And now she's a better announcer than Dave.
Yeah.
That's neat.
But we did 3 years of filming at the track, in the pits, at home, working on stuff. So when you're in front of a camera for 3 years, like, you get really good.
Yeah.
And even doing
Comfortable.
some Red Bull stuff,
Yeah.
like, they're blown away. Like, wow, you did that in one take. Because, a lot of people takes them a little bit of time.
Me and Mike are ex-racers, professional athletes, and it's better to to say you're an announcer. I'm not going to name people. So they race dinosaur something Camaros or something. I'm telling you that
dinosaur Camaros.
We have championships. He's a Hall of Famer. It's a little different than just running something.
Oh yeah.
To get a championship, it takes a little bit different weirdo.
Oof. There's a lot of stress comes with championship racing.
Well, you're a hardcore success.
This year for me was no stress because we came in. We didn't race the first race. I think we came in at the second one, and then towards the end of last year, we were at a race here. It wasn't the last race, maybe the round before it, and there was a kid that I think Bobby sold them the car. It was his car. He sold it to him. Bobby's motor blew up in his car, so they says, "Hey, why don't you use our car to get points that you sold us?" He's like, "Cool." So he went out, drove it. That motor, or I can't remember, transmission blew up or something. Well, now the little kid couldn't race, and this was like maybe his second race in a 1,000 car. And my son went to the parents and said, "Hey, like his race is after mine. You're more than welcome to use my car. That way you can get points, Cool.
That never happened.
Human.
Yeah.
And to get to Bobby, we're gonna get to Bobby. We're gonna get over to Bobby's house.
Bob.
He's the GOAT. And I've been talking to him. I got I've had a few conversations with him. Did you see what he did today?
My son.
He kept thumbs up to me in the RS1. A limp mode somehow. The car overheated or something. Yeah. And then, but he is the GOAT. He is the GOAT of UTV. So he's coming up. He's going to be a 3-hour, 4-hour podcast.
Oh yeah, he definitely has.
Yeah, he
has stories like no.
Now he's seen a few of our podcasts. He's on board.
Yeah,
he is. Yeah, I got him.
You got to do it.
He's coming. Yeah. I'm glad we squeezed you in, though.
Turn one, Bob went to the back twice.
Wonderful
during
human.
the race, right?
Yes, I saw that.
He passes my son on the front straightaway. He's on the inside. Passes Ryder. So he's on the bottom for turn one.
Yeah.
He's committed.
Yeah.
So Ryder sees that he's on the bottom, knows he's going to push out on the exit, so he goes over to the K-rail, sets up early to go outside in. Well, there's a car in front of Bob. Bob outside ins, or lets it fade out across the bumper of that guy. Ryder's out here. Right next to Bob, they exit turn one together. Ryder's on the inside, and they're kind of banging. And Ryder's in the air going like fist pumping Bob.
Today just showed what the GOAT Bobby Van Meekum is. That guy, he hit Kyle Arcano on the first lap on the down step in midair, 10 feet in the air, 10 or 8 to 10 in the air, wheel to wheel.
Yeah.
Something flew off one of the guy's cars, and I shit my you-know-what. And then Bob spun out down the down ramp, spun out, and then as the race progressed, and after the full course caution, Bob's in second. He made a stab at first, Jason Welder. I don't know. That right there has to be one of the not only the best races I've ever seen, but flat out, that guy is a legend.
He's extremely talented.
Hands down.
Yeah. Wasn't he in 8th place or something like that? He was back in the back.
He was all the way at the back.
Right, he was in the front, and then he went to the back from his spin out.
Turbo.
And then he went to second place again.
Here.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
That's a driver, dude.
Which is good for the younger, it's good that they have the two classes together because you only get faster when you're racing against fast people.
Exactly, yeah.
So to have them combine and for that to happen today, Bob and Ryder, that's only going to make the younger people faster.
I was talking to Mike during the race. He's schooling his kid. He's schooling him. He's coaching him.
Yeah.
He's giving him a lesson. And he was giving them all a lesson. He had zero you-know-whats. He gave zero you-know-whats. At the same point, he spared his kids and got by him clean. We're all we're at the edge of our seat. We got pins and needles shooting through our ass.
Did you?
Dude, that was rocket race.
It was a great race.
That was better than Champ Off-Road.
Did you know the point spread for Ryder Van Beekum? So Ryder Van Beekum's in the lead in points. Do you know how close it is?
So is Ryder in pro or amateur turbo?
Ryder's in amateur turbo. Both Ryders, Ryder Van Beekum and Ryder Chapman, are in amateur turbo.
Okay.
So Ryder Van Beekum's in first going into this last round by 2 points. So second play, the person behind him is Ryan Denny.
Yeah.
Only 2 points away.
Wow.
It's super close.
Ryan's that good.
Yeah. Yeah, she's quick.
Wow.
Yeah, she did all mod carts and all that.
I know.
They spent I think they were out here for a full week running the track, testing.
Yeah.
And that's what it takes is testing.
That's right.
You know, you can spend all the money you want on a car. You got to have a decent car to begin with, but you got to put in the time and effort of testing and training. Got to put in the laps.
So did they rent the track?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like
there was a group, I think 2X, and their little group of customers came out and did a bunch of testing.
Yeah, well, the sport is on fire with CORR Off-Road. With parents like you, they need to be able to reach you, get a hold of you, or talk to you in the pits, and
it's fun,
and bring more people into the sport.
Yep.
CORR is doing the right things. It's going to happen.
I love it.
I think it's happening right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Mike,
they're way beyond where I thought they would be at this time when they first started.
Back when Mike and I raced jet skis, and Mike was pro, and I was getting into pro, and there was 40,000 people in the stands. Bikini contests. Hey, look at my Legends of Hero. He posted it there. The bleachers are packed.
I'll have to check that out.
40,000+ bikini contests, beer sales, the bar, the beach is just surrounded.
Kind of sounds like Crandon, but water instead.
That's right. So hopefully the West, I mean, California has, 60 million people?
There's a lot.
Hopefully the tracks can still stay alive, stay open, and
yeah, I hope so.
Yes. This was a godsend that CORR came into here.
Yeah.
Wild Horse said, yeah, we'll welcome you. Lucas already spent the millions of dollars with the dirt. Mm-hmm. It's here.
Yep.
So kudos to Wild Horse Pass and CORR.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree, dude. I think it's awesome. I think you're getting the kids out.
Yeah.
All right? Because we love racing. I mean, see, I grew up in the San Fernando Valley.
Oh, okay.
And I tell people, oh, yeah, it's a Sepulveda drag strip. They're like, Sepulveda drag strip? Back in 55. You know, I go, yeah, I wasn't even born yet. But it was there. There was a bunch of racetracks actually in the San Fernando Valley.
Wow.
Yeah, they had drag strips, wooden car track.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it was really popular. But then it just, concrete jungle came over. So
yep.
You guys are lucky you got room out here.
Yeah.
Still got room to breathe.
We've raced here for a long time, so there were, there wasn't races here for a couple of years. Like, it sucks driving by the track, on the way to Phoenix. Like,
absolutely.
So many good times over there.
Yeah.
It's nice to be back.
I really enjoyed Speed World. I think the town, the city of
Speed World.
Surprise, that track's still sitting there.
Have you been out there and looked at it?
No, have you?
I went 2 years ago and stopped and walked through the fence and walked down the track.
What's going on? It's still there?
It's still there. It's all eroded, a lot of water and stuff over the years.
These governors or mayors of these cities need to pull their head out. Yeah, there was a bad operator. Yeah, there was dirt permits or something. Somebody needs to get over there. It would help the town of Surprise.
Tax dollars.
Yeah.
You're getting hotels.
But I really like Speed World now. The Speed World's gone.
Yeah.
That's my all-time favorite track, and I've been to all of them. That was
you
the
told me
best
about
track.
it all the time.
I love Speed World. The rhythm
Remember
section.
the moguls, the offset
the rhythm section.
And it was long, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It would unsettle the car, and you'd set up, and it was fantastic. It was wide enough for 3 cars wide.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Of course, you had to pick your sections, and when the big trucks went through, you could see where it was.
Yeah.
Right? You had to run your pit bike back and forth over. You know where it was.
Well, there was a lot more technicality in the tracks back then. It wasn't so flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That track was semi-flat, but fantastic. It was a great track.
Yeah.
And I really like this one even better when it came out, and then it's been butchered and re-Lucased. And
I remember the first
Pastrana.
race that we went to at Speed World when I seen the pro trucks run. We were racing karts at that time, not the series. We didn't race that race for whatever reason. But I remember the first time, I don't remember what turn it was, but it was after you go through the moguls and then you have that right-hander and you come back. Well, there's a corner over here where the pro trucks, first time I seen Kyle LeDuc, backed it in the corner and then you see the truck disappear because the corner goes down.
Yeah, it was down. It was deep.
I was in awe of that. Like,
you used to get real money down in there too.
That was the coolest thing ever.
But it was like a Christmas time when you come up the step up, and then you had that big sleeping loomy gravel pit Crandon on the backside. It was killer.
Yeah,
it was a great track.
Great track.
Yeah, but yeah, you were down in you're like couldn't see coming out. Yeah, absolutely.
Did you race? You were probably in a UTV at that track.
RJ's car.
Oh, really?
First little Polaris.
The 800?
Yeah. It was an 840 Croyer motor. Yeah, great car.
Jimmy built that car.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. I won a championship in the RJ car, and I won 2 championships in the Black Ant.
Ooh.
Jimmy car. So I've won all my championships in XMF.
So we got a SR1 car. We're going to try and run it next year. It's a Jimmy car. We got
Dan Kelly's?
Dan Kelly's, the last car.
Hey, that's the Wellers. I mean, I won't say it, but that's a good car.
Yeah.
Hey, he'll be up front in that car. Oh yeah.
Yep.
That is a nice car, and they say kind of it's not fair. The rider's gonna do good in that.
Yeah.
Oh,
it'd be fun,
Exciting.
Yeah.
Put an R1 in it. Don't put a KX10 in it.
I don't know what it's got in there right now.
KX10.
I don't think it's a KX10. Is there a bigger one than the KX10? Not legal for it? Because I want to say it was like a 1400 that Dan put in it right before he got done. No, it's a Cali motor. Oh. But evidently it's not legal for the rules in the SR1
it's not. Dan
class.
owned it. I mean, not no pun or nothing.
I know that name very well.
Yeah. Mike raced him for years in watercraft. Yeah. Yeah.
But we'll put an R1 in it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Cross-plane crank or the older one?
I don't know anything
Jason,
about him, so I'll get with Jason.
Jason will tell you. He'll be straight up with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks again for coming on.
No.
And Mike, you got any other questions for?
I'm pretty stoked. I can't wait to watch you guys do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow will be fun.
Yep.
Be a little bit cooler tomorrow, so hopefully the track's going to hold moisture a little better.
Really?
Oh, it is?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's supposed to be like 6 degrees cooler tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
It was 55 at 7 a.m. It's pretty good.
No, it got to like 75, 76 today, so what's it going to be 70 then?
Well, everybody, Legends and Heroes Time Machine.
Yep.
Go on there and like and share us. And if you want to meet a great father, a great human, with great successful kids, call Joe Chapman at CORR Off-Road.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, it's been a great show with Joe Chapman. I'm going to take us right into a break.
Elevate your event to new heights with R&R Productions, a proud media partner of the Elite Draft League. From captivating visuals to immersive coverage, we specialize in bringing your moments to life with unparalleled creativity and expertise. Whether it's live streaming, highlight reels, or social media buzz, we've got you covered. So trust R&R Productions to amplify your brand and showcase your talent like never before. Experience the power of Elite Media Partnership with R&R Productions.
Wow, Mikey, what an awesome day. Got a little cold here now, but the bleachers were packed. The racing was phenomenal. Better than Lucas Oil Off-Road. I can't tell you, that Pro Turbo was off the charts. Those guys were hauling the mail, flying. And that Bobby Van Meekum, he's the GOAT. He came from hitting a guy, spun out all the way to last place, all the way up to second, and it was like charging toward Jason Weller. What's your take on it, Mike?
I just saw some great racing, and I saw a lot of people going for it, because with cars and trucks, you guys can hook wheels, and then you guys go flying. So I saw some guys, they trusted each other, though, on the track. They weren't taking each other out, and that's great racing, though. It made for great racing. And then all of a sudden, what was really cool? When I saw the grandparents of one kid that hasn't won it all, and then all of a sudden he wasn't like third, and then he went and something happened to the guy's car, but Grandpa he had his cane waving, "Mama, son, go, go!" I mean, I brought tears to my eyes because he wanted his son to win. It was the first time he ever saw his son win. So he was like, him and his mom were like, they almost had heart attacks.
This CORR Off-Road series is on such a major upswing.
Oh, dude.
We saw 5 classes of Razor 170.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of different classes, but these are younger kids. They're coming up into the sport. The bleachers are getting packed. This sport is on an upswing.
I saw Grandma and Grandpa, whatever, get proud. I've never seen this in the grandstands where Grandma and Grandpa are going crazy. They were going crazy. They chanted the kid's name. So for me, I was like almost crying because it was so, man, I wish my parents would have done that for me. You know what I mean? So to see a parents that have raced, our grandparents be so excited, that was cool. That was like one of my moments I will remember the rest of my life.
Yeah, absolutely. Across the board from head to toe, it's on the upswing over here at CORR Off-Road.
Well, Adam, we got to end now. We have to, end the show. Number 4, we're pretty happy about that. Number 4, you got to be proud of yourself. Don't forget, subscribe and like, and make sure you subscribe because we've had some little issues with people that have gotten on and they go, oh, I'm not subscribed anymore, Mike. I said, man, just make sure you're subscribed and like, and if you like it, that's the way you'll be counted as a viewer. So,
yeah,
for Adam.
To the flip side, let's say one more thing real quick.
Go ahead.
Is that these social media companies are limiting us.
Yeah.
They're holding us back. So the more you can help us, you like what we're doing, do what Mike's telling.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Adam, good job.
Thanks, Mikey.
I was really impressed today. We did a lot of walking, though. We did a lot of interviews.
Good for you.
Steve got a lot of great shots. And you know what's really cool is that the drivers were saying, we'd walk up to them and say, hey, you got any GoPro footage? Usually they're all like, nah. They're all like, hey, we can Steve download it. Here's the card right here. I got it. So this CORR racing is really made a lot of camaraderie. So I think it's going to be good. I think we're going to be here again.
Absolutely. Let's finish on a good note and let's get back after the next
That's
one.
right, buddy.
We got a couple lined up.
Good job. So Legend and Heroes Time Machine, check us out. And don't forget to check out Throttle Junkie TV. Register, subscribe, and that's where we'll be. And you know what? We're signing out now from Wild Horse Pass.
What a
here
day.
in Arizona. Get off the couch and ride.